Good morning everyone. In this video I'm going to analyze the live price action for EU and DXY to see what opportunities there may be today. You're going to see my strategy and my analysis, so if you're interested in those then please stick around. Right, so we're going to start off here on the daily chart. We have EU on the top, DXY on the bottom. What's the daily chart showing us? So far today you can see we've been bearish overnight and into this morning. However, because of that, we've taken the previous daily low, which is sell side liquidity. Price has retracted from there somewhat, so we'll see if that causes any further bullish behavior, but we're still a bearish candle so far this morning. Same on DXY, we have taken a previous daily high and pulled back somewhat from there. Previous weekly high is just above, and previous weekly low is also not too far on EU for further sell side liquidity. Right, we're clearly in our bearish trend here, okay, but the momentum in the Thursday Friday died off a little bit. Right, we've taken plenty of sell side liquidity and we have our possible support area around here, so we'll see how price is going to continue to react from this area. Again, we've taken sell side and buy side liquidity on DXY. Right, so price may be reacting from that. We're having some sort of bullish push at the moment. We're still within our order block here on DXY as well, which is still showing as possible resistance here with the slowing of that bullish price action. I've drawn in our order block below. This is our obvious right on the extreme of the discount order block with imbalance that price may be heading for, which was unmitigated in the past. So let's go down to the 4 hour. Let's see what that looks like. So on this 4 hour chart now, what we have here is obviously still bearish structure. Doesn't take a rocket scientist to realize that. We've got, for example, this lower high into a lower low. Now we had taken sell side liquidity clearly from all of these previous lows here before. Price had a bullish reaction from there and is being held here for the moment. So what I see here is the 4 hour looks fully mitigated around this area. Now we do have an imbalance which we only mitigated to halfway above. But the way I see it is we have obviously the imbalance up here and up here, but price is obviously in that bearish structure. So we have this low here, this may be a lower high. We could continue to make a lower low, or we could make a higher low here and price may be showing its willingness to pull back. So I think this price action segment here is important over the next few days to see whether we break out to make a higher high. Price may then be showing that it wants to pull back for further buy side liquidities such as this previous weekly high and imbalance here, or maybe even further towards a premium. So that's how I see it. For today, I don't think there's loads to read here on the 4 hour, except for we've mitigated this just previous 4 hour imbalance, right? So we can see if that is met with some sort of resistance there. I'll zoom in so that that's clearer. So we still have our bearish structure. We haven't shifted internally yet, which I think will be this high here. That'll be quite important. Price action is still bearish in terms of its structure, like I said, so we may reject this imbalance here and continue lower, which is fine for the trend, so we can continue in that way. Now of course DXY is also very much within that premium and that order block. Price here could have also swept that sell side liquidity and now we continue bullish and continue bearish with EU. Right, so like I said, it's quite important to see, is this going to be a lower high and then we go on to make a lower low there, such as this higher low to make a higher high, or will we continue this trend? So that's where I am on the 4 hour. I'm a bit mixed. There's no clear POIs apart from this one we've just mitigated. So if we go on to make that lower low, for me, we'll then be targeting our previous weekly low. So I hope that's clear. Any questions, just let me know in the comments. Alright, let's go down to the 1 hour. Let's see if that agrees and what that looks like. So on the 1 hour, it gives me a bit more of a bias here. So presuming that this is our leg, right? High to the low, premium discount, where we swept that internal liquidity, mitigated a 4 hour and 1 hour POI and made that new lower low. All right, we pulled back. Let me explain the structure. We pulled back, saved this high. All right, so we pulled back quite deep into the premium, did not take out the high, which usually means weak low. Okay, we then pulled back down, took some sell side liquidity, pulled back up, and also didn't take out this high. Right, so then we made a lower high internally and then a lower low. So to me now, what this means is that this is our external 1 hour structure. Right, we pulled back, made a lower high, and then eventually a lower low in a bit more of a complex continuation there, right, with that lower low, lower high, lower low. So to me then, we're going to find some possible resistance maybe around this order block POI imbalance, somewhere like this, and then we can continue lower, because this to me then would be a weak low, because the internal structure is bearish. So it is giving me a bit more of a bearish structure. Like I said, on the 4 hour, it looked like maybe we could be creating a higher low to then go on to make a higher high for more of a pullback. But if I use the 1 hour structure, I think I'm favoring shorts for today, at least as a, you know, just a day trade for at least the London session. We have a bank holiday in the New York session, so I probably won't trade that. But yeah, we've made a lower high here and then continued internally to make another lower high and lower low. So I hope that's clear. So this low is possibly weak when we find some resistance here, but this low at the moment I'm definitely reading as a weak low, as long as this structure holds for today. So it's the same with DXY. We have this low to this high, we pulled back, we didn't take out this low, and then internally we started making a high high, high low, high high. So we may just be trying to find a POI here now, such as this imbalance here with order block, to find a support or the sell side liquidity. Okay, personally I'm going to be favoring those shorts just because of this internal structural breakdown with this weak low. So I'll be looking for it quite possibly around here, this obvious order block that we have just above price, though as I said, we have just mitigated a 1 hour imbalance and I think the 4 hour imbalance as well. So if we get some sort of breakdown here, right, you can see we've swept that Asia internal buy side liquidity. We'll see that better on the lower time frame. And if we get some momentum and a breakdown, this is a nice trend line on the lower time frame, as you can see, for sell side liquidity and buy side liquidity here, that we can use to target these lows or ultimately the previous weekly low. So I'm going to go over short bias today, and I hope that was clear. So let's go down to the M15. Let's see what some opportunities for this morning may look like. So I'm zoomed in here on the M15 price action, so we can see all the candles nice and clearly. Right, since that London kill zone and open, right, we have kind of fluttered around this area. We haven't chosen a direction as yet, but this is our Asia session here. We've gone above Asia, taking the buy side liquidity, and now London has then again swept internally. So we've taken out this buy side liquidity here shown by the X. But like I said, we do have this 1 hour order block above, which happens to also have an M15 order block with imbalance contained within it from the opening from the weekend. So price may come up high, it may continue to make this, look at this corrective structure, trend line, low, high, and it's just very tight structure, creating this lovely trend line up through here for price to target if it breaks down. So I think this looks really good here as a sell side liquidity trend line target for us to go to, and ultimately this weak low here. We can even see on the M15 where that lower low, lower high, lower low structure is in there, so the M15 order flow is on side. Obviously we have the same buy side liquidity structure forming here on DXY. So price may need to come up further into this price action. So this will be the strategy and lower time frame execution idea. We may do this, come up above and then break down. We don't have to break down this far, but I just want to make sure we break down below this low here, right, as a break of structure, and then we can pull back to our lower time frame order block with imbalance that we leave behind here possibly, to then continue our buy short. So this will be what I'm looking for this morning. We'll have an extra super buy side liquidity possibly there, a break of structure around here, possibly a corrective pullback leaving some buy side liquidity here where our order block may be, such as this current M15 candle, let's say, looks like this, buy side liquidity below it to be mitigated, set our order, stop loss just above the high, targeting the lows here, or 3%, which would be my target, or previous weekly lows, whichever one you go for. This is what my order would look like this morning if and when we break down and take out this M15 low here. Right, like I said, we may head up into this 1 hour order block, so the structure may happen higher, or we could break down from this point here because we have taken some M15 internal buy side liquidity, but we don't yet have the momentum. I want to see that strong break, right, a nice up candle, taking buy side liquidity, respecting maybe this old breakdown, break of structure that's very clear, and then we pull back to that area to go short, taking all the sell side liquidity, right, and buy side liquidity here. So I would expect DXY to either take out its lows or respect them, giving us SMC divergence on the side, and then break above this high here, and then pull back, and then continue higher, possibly to take out its previous weekly high. So this is what I'm waiting for. This is the opportunity I'll be looking for today. I don't see the longs because of this correctiveness at the moment. I'll wait for these highs to be taken out to switch to that bias. So I hope you gain value from that. Any questions, let me know in the comments. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon.